Welcome! Got a good show for you today. I don't care. Yeah, but telling the military to disobey of the commander-in-chief. Oh, sorry. Forgot for 1 second I was streaming. We got some videos to do. I got down the Twitter fucking rabbit hole. No, not on my cooking show. All right, holiday roast chicken.
Meal that isn't way too big, feeds like 4 adults. Well, give this a try. Looks awesome, stays hot and ready to eat for hours, doesn't have to cost much. It's just a roast chicken and gravy with an all-in-one potato vegetable side situation. As is often my first step when I cook a holiday meal, I'm going to clarify some butter. You could skip this and just use oil, but I'd take a stick or two of butter and just melt it in a little pot, bring it to a boil, and at this point you can see how the milk solids have started to separate out and get clumped together in little golden brown bits. When the bubbling calms down, that means that most of the water is gone, so it's done. When you strain it out, throw a paper towel on top, and that'll catch the tiniest bits that you don't want. Just pass it through and you'll have a particularly tasty cooking fat that you can use for the whole meal. Here's our chicken. It's 5 pounds, 2¼ kilos. That's about as big as I like to go with a chicken for roasting. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to cut out the wishbone to make carving easier later. Look here where the neck used to be. Feel around for the 2 wings of the wishbone just under the meat at the top here. Follow the bone with your knife to create an opening. Try to get underneath it at the top where the sides join together. And then you can just dig in with your fingers and pull it out. It may break and come out in 2 parts like that, which is fine. I'll plop that onto my widest pan. It needs to be oven safe. I like to tuck the wingtips up underneath the body, otherwise they tend to burn.
Okay, do you not have a roasting pan?
A little of my clarified butter on top, and I'll smoosh that all over the skin. There's plenty of fat inside the chicken. This is just to get it.
Where are you getting your chickens from? Chickens are quite lean.
started cooking until more fat melts out. With the bird upside down, I'll season the bottom with plenty of pepper and salt, flip her around and season the top side. Take a cut shallot or a chunk of onion or something and throw that into the cavity, mostly to flavor the gravy. Grab the official Thanksgiving herbs, thyme and sage. They don't have to be fresh, dry is fine. I'll stick those up there again to flavor the gravy. And I suppose because it's a special occasion, I'll use kitchen twine to bind the legs together. This just gets you a nicer looking shape on the final platter. However, tying does make the legs take longer to cook, so I like to score them a couple of times all the way down to the bone.
Yeah, that's not scoring. You're just hacking.
That lets more
You've got some issues, my friend.
heat in so the legs won't fall behind the other meat. Slide this onto the burner, and in my opinion, this is the trick for roasting a whole chicken, unless you're going to spatchcock it. Start it on the stove top. Use moderate heat to keep anything from burning and spoiling your gravy. The white meat up here is getting almost no heat, whereas the dark meat underneath is getting blasted. The dark meat tastes best when it's very thoroughly cooked. The white meat tastes best when it's just barely cooked. And the part of the breast that is...
Please fully cook your chicken. I'd hate for any of you to spend Thanksgiving in the hospital.
Getting a little bit of heat is this super thick part down here, which needs more heat than the rest anyway, so this really is the silver bullet for a juicy whole chicken.
Jesus, normally this guy isn't this bad. What the fuck are you doing?
You don't need to brine it, which is good because I don't really like the texture of brined bird, and brine makes the gravy too salty. If you smell anything burning, turn the heat down. I'll do this gently for like 10-15 minutes before the pan goes into the oven at 400 Fahrenheit, 200 C, convection if you have it. A chicken that big will take almost an hour. Plenty of time to prep vegetables, and you could use all kinds of things. You could use white potatoes instead of these sweet potatoes that I'm peeling. White potatoes would probably be better, but this is the time of year when I try again to like sweet potatoes. This is not...
That's a veggie I don't like. Sweet potatoes.
Not the quickest way to cube them, but it is safe and easy. Take one thick slice at a time, cut it into 3 pieces that way, and then same thing the other way. The smaller slices you can cut 2 by 2 or 1 by 1 to get even pieces. Sweet potatoes are so hard to cut when raw that I really do recommend going slow, 1 slice at a time. The hospital is very busy over the holidays. In those, go to a wide pan with a lid, ideally. I've got a few carrots here that I'll just cut into thick rounds. In those go, and I can get these started steaming in just enough water to cover the bottom of the pan. Get that heating up. For Brussels sprouts, you just slice off a little bit of that stem end, and then you can just cut each one in half. Any tattered outer leaves should just fall off at this point. You just brush them aside, mow through that whole pile. I'll throw those in with everything else and a little more water if necessary. This is a great way to steam a bunch of veg, even if you don't have a big steamer basket. You just stir it periodically.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I don't think Brussels sprouts take that fucking long to cook. Sweet potatoes take forever.
So that no one piece boils for too long on the bottom. Most of the stuff in here is steaming, which is better. Up to you if you want to baste the bird a few times in its own fat. This definitely makes the skin look nicer, and we're going for visual impact for the holidays, so fine. Back to the veg. If you don't have a good lid, you could tent this with foil to retain the steam, or you could just buy this beautiful stainless steel rondeau from Made In, sponsor of this video, or buy a frying pan or a pot. I've been using Made In stainless pieces for this entire video because I actually use them for most of my cooking in real life, as you can see on this 12-inch frying pan. This is my workhorse. It goes in and out of the oven just great, really solid, comfortable handle, great angles inside for making pan sauces. These are pans used in 3-star restaurants that you can use at home. Made In partners with multi-generational factories and artisans to make pieces that should last a very long time. Their 5-ply stainless design heats so quickly and evenly. Good stainless, in my opinion, is the all-around best material for most things in the home kitchen. Made In...
Depends.
Black Friday sale is happening right now. Hit my link in the description to check out the stainless collection and my other favorite cookware from Made In. Thanks to them. Anyway, these veggies will roast better and faster if you pre-cook them a little until they're like halfway to being fork tender. That's more than enough steaming. I now want to shock these in cold water, and honestly, the easiest way to do that is to take the whole pan to the sink and just run cold water through it. Let it flow over the sides, taking all that heat with it. Just keep flushing until nothing in here feels hot anymore. Just takes a minute to stop the cooking and stop things from turning brown. I can use the lid to drain this thoroughly and get rid of all that water. I have a few stalks of celery in the fridge. They make the house smell like Thanksgiving, and they don't need any head start before they roast, so on the pile. More fresh thyme and sage if you have it. Strip the leaves off the stems and chop them up. In they go with the veg. And you could roast these on a cheap aluminum baking sheet, but I highly recommend finding a decorative, oven-safe roasting/serving tray. This has been my secret holiday weapon since somebody gave it to us at our wedding. Honestly, I did too much veg. You don't want it piled up on itself. You want a thin layer that can roast evenly and thoroughly. If your clarified
Jesus fucking Christ.
butter has gone solid, just microwave it for a sec and you can pour the rest of that on. Whole butter would burn. You'd normally use oil, but because we took the milk solids out of our butter, we are golden. Season this heavily with pepper and salt. Toss to get everything coated. This really is too much veg for this pan, but I'm committed now. I'll roast it in the oven, which is available now because the bird is basically done. The thickest part of the breast is reading 155 Fahrenheit, 68 C. Cook it a few degrees hotter if you need to be very careful about bacteria, but...
Dude, that bird is under fucking done. No, chicken is something you have to go to 165 on.
This is going to rest and effectively pasteurize for a while, plus I'm putting it back in the oven at the end.
Oh my God.
Ooh, that is going to stick, and I'm going to burn myself. Slide under it with the spatula a few times to release so it all comes out in one attractive piece. Set that aside to rest. I've cranked my oven up to its maximum temperature because I want to get this veg very brown and crispy. And again, I've crowded my pan more than I should. Make the gravy while you wait. Heat back on under this pan, and I'll stir in just enough flour into that chicken fat to make a thick paste. I always put in too much. Loosen with a little oil. Compared to turkey gravy, chicken gravy tends to lack a little in flavor and color. So I like to compensate by browning my roux for a few minutes, nice and gentle so that it doesn't burn. Just let it slowly turn a little browner than it was when you started. Now I'll start stirring in chicken broth, a little at a time so I can easily stir out the lumps. Scrape the bottom of the pan to dissolve the yummy bits. Any and all resting juices from the chicken go in, obviously. Simmer this for a while to thicken it and develop the flavor. I'll probably add a whole
But don't bother to get a goddamn chicken cooked properly.
carton of stock to compensate for evaporation. That's great. We're concentrating flavor. Taste for seasoning, needs a lot of pepper and a little salt. My last prep is to take a pomegranate, cut it in half, and then tap out all those little fruits. No, the blade is not facing me. Yes, you could use another implement, but it needs to be heavy to have enough force. There are more effective and cleaner ways to do this, and you can learn those from someone else on the internet. The vegetables are going to need to be stirred a few times, add more butter or oil if things look dry. We want to fry those pieces, which again would have been easier and quicker if I hadn't done too much. Learn from my mistakes. Those took me like 45 minutes to get crispy, but that's fine because we are going to make a little hole in the middle and then plop the chicken back on there, facing the other direction for thumbnail purposes. I'll reheat it in the oven for about 10 minutes. You could even turn the oven off or very low and let everything keep hot for an hour or two if you're waiting for guests. If your gravy is too thin, evaporate it some more. If it's too thick, add broth or water. Easy. You could strain this into the serving boat to get out all those little bits of chicken skin and stuff that stuck to the pan, but I consider those bonus, so...
Why in God's name would you want to do that?
Get a trivet to protect whatever whatever surface your hot serving platter is going on. Chicken is reheated. Warn your guests about that hot tray. It will keep the food hot for a long time, which is awesome. Scatter those fresh pomegranate seeds on top of the veg. Those are great. They do the same thing that cranberry sauce does in a traditional Thanksgiving meal. Plus, they're crunchy and pretty. I'll strip a few more thyme leaves off their stems just for a pop of green, and that's a pretty awesome looking thing to just drop on the table in front of a few guests. For what Marco Pierre White calls that sense of occasion, I would carve this at the table. Once I pull off the leg quarter, it should be easy enough to slice right off the breast there, especially since we took the wishbone out. The sharper your knife, the cleaner your slices will look. I need to sharpen my blue knife. Nice, juicy, just barely cooked white meat on the plate with some of our starchy veg medley. If I want a leg, I can just pull it off the thigh, pull it to expose the joint, and then cut through. That dark meat we've cooked to the delicious fall-apart stage because we started it on the stovetop. Everybody takes as much gravy as they want, and that tastes about as good as you'd expect roast meat and gravy to taste, which is pretty darn good. But honestly, the star of the show for me is the pomegranate. Little crunchy bursts of sweet...
All right, enough. Here we go with Sam, the cooking guy's latest effort. I was worried this would be a mistake. Looks like we're making chili.
I love a simple chili as much as the next guy, but sometimes you want something bigger, and that's this. 2 kinds of beef, dark beer, and enough flavor to make you rethink every chili you've had. So buckle up, partner, because we're diving into the boldest damn chili I've ever made. 2 kinds of beef. We're using chuck. We're gonna cut it into chunks. And then we're using ground beef for a little beautiful texture all the way through. We've got jalapeno in this, we've got chipotle in this. We're gonna use a chocolate Reaper pepper, the hottest damn pepper in the hottest damn pepper in the world. But not to wipe the whole thing out, just to give it a beautiful little back note of chocolatey Reaper heat. By the time this is done, you eat a big bowl of it. Kidding, can't put that in. It's really all about the assembly. Here's what you do. You're just cutting some vegetables and meat and stuff, assembling in the pot, and whisk it away to the stove for a couple hours. Oh, we're putting beans in. If we remember, we'll put a link below to the burger hot dog chili that we make that is so good. No beans in that. This one has beans. Because this one's for cowboys. This is a cowboy chili. You're going to like this one. It's going to hurt my throat if I keep... Do you think people really talk like that? I got to go to Texas someday. Get us some boots and big ass buckle. They'll see me coming and just slap the shit off my face. That's what they'll do. All right, enough of this. Let's cut, let's assemble, let's cook, let's simmer, and then...
Well, I gotta cook,
that's what we can do.
There's that.
Let's start with our vegetables first. Onion we gotta cut up, a poblano we need to cut up, a jalapeno, and look, there we are. The chocolate Reaper. It's beautiful, isn't it? It really is. It's so innocent looking. You just want to like give it a little kiss, take a little bite off the edge of it, but don't do that. That'd be stupid. We'll chop it up small and fold it in and it'll be fine. So let me just cut all these and then we'll carry on. Onion first. Time for the Reaper, and giving it as much respect as it needs, I will wear gloves. Let's have a look at what goes on inside this guy. My heart just skipped a little bit. I'm a little scared. So
shoot those seeds up in my direction.
No, man. Oh boy. Technically the world's hottest chili. We're not going with the seeds. I fear that might be stupid. And I'm not even sure I'm using all of it. So this is about 500,000 Scoville units hotter than the ghost peppers that we've been using. 500,000. And just to put this in perspective, the jalapeno is 10,000 Scoville units. Yay. So this guy, I've got to cut fairly small. I don't want to saddle anybody with a decent sized bite of this. I want it to melt into the chili as much as possible. Listen, a little chili heat is good, but these peppers, as hot as they are, they also bring tons of flavor, which is really the fun way to use.
No, they don't. They just burn your palate to the ground so you can't taste anything.
Unless you just want to blow yourself up by having the hottest thing possible in your mouth, but I don't. I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with this half. We'll taste and see what we need to do. We always have this kid as backup. Okay, let's cut our proteins. Next up, our chuck, and some bacon. Now, this you want in sort of bite-size-esque cubes. It's up to you how big you want to make them, but I think that will be nice. By the time it cooks down a little bit, it's going to make a nice bite of beef for the chili. I'm going to skip some of these fattier middle parts, but I'll just cut like this and then cube everything up. You can sit back and just watch. Bacon. I bought some thick cut bacon a while ago in a big pack and chose to wrap up 3-4 pieces in parchment to freeze it. It's a much better way to deal with it. It was a huge pack, and you can't defrost the whole pack when you need 2 pieces or 3 pieces, so that's what I did. So we'll cut these fairly big because they will shrink in the pot, but I want you to get a decent bite of bacon. And with everybody cut up, we can start some cooking. Let's begin with the bacon because we'll use the grease to cook the steak, but I saved back a few pieces of fat from the beef, so I'm gonna just throw those in. It's gonna be just a little extra flavor in here. Sort of like using tallow, if tallow had a parent. You get it? I think you do. Just go till the bacon's mostly done, and then we move on. Oh yeah, these pieces of fat are doing exactly what they're supposed to. Flavor, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's happening right here. Okay, I'm good with this. Let me take everything out. I mean, the fat pieces are just being thrown away, of course, but the bacon is our friend, and out she comes. And look, we're left with enough fat now to cook our beef. But before we do, let's just season this up a bit, and in we go. And this we want nicely browned all the way. So spread it out to as flat a layer as you can, and let the heat make it spectacular. I'm going to admit right now I should have done this in 2 batches, but I just love the idea of seeing the beef covering the whole bottom of this pot. We'll be okay. We're getting there. When your beef looks like this, out she comes. Skip this step.
Well, truth be told, I don't really make chili with... I don't see the big deal in the whole hot pot, cold pot, this pot, that pot. Cook your fucking chili how you want, because ideally it shouldn't matter, because it's going to sit there and stew for 3 hours.
You're skipping on some flavor. Keep it
I
hot.
always just
you
use
need a little bit
ground
more
beef.
oil
That's just
at
me,
it,
though.
and then in goes the ground beef, like this. Oh, shit. Didn't mean for it to do that. So just flatten this out a bit. We want to get some good color on this too. So give it a few minutes before you start to mess it around. And this we can give a light seasoning to. Now we can do this. That's what you want. Great.
Because
Left
again,
hand.
I like... Okay.
My left.
I like crust on a burger. I don't mind that. But chili, it doesn't fucking matter. That's like saying, oh, I like my sloppy joes with a good crust on them. It's a sloppy fucking Joe.
Hand is I'm so bad with my left hand. More on that side. More color. All right, a quick mix. A little bit of pink is fine because it's going to simmer for a couple hours. Let's pull this out and add it to the chuck. Next in, our onion, our poblano, and our jalapeno. This gets a couple minutes to soften. Next in, 3 cloves of minced garlic.
Yeah, that's another reason why I always take my ground pork and I add it like 5 minutes after and let it simmer in the tomato sauce for like 20 fucking minutes. Just in case any of the pork was underdone, the simmering in the sauce will take care of it.
Our recipe's below if I didn't already say it. And our Reaper. Gosh, I could smell that the second it hit. There's a lot of there's a lot of other stuff going in to help dumb that down. I hope. By the way, if this is the worst idea ever, it's Max's fault. He's been pepper crazy lately. And right when that becomes super fragrant, like it is, in we go with some tomato paste. And this you want to essentially fry in the pan. Don't rush this step. Give this a few minutes, like 4. Oh, God. That Reaper, man. If you fuck this up, I'm going to kill you. I was really looking forward to this chili being amazing. I just don't want it to be a blowout. I want it to be delicious. And I'm sure by the time everything gets in. So you're looking for this to kind of be like brick red. That's where the bold flavor is going to come from. Next in, some of our dried herbs. Smoked paprika, cumin, oregano, chipotle chili powder. Give that a mix. Wow, we're making chili here, folks.
Chipotle
And now some
chili
minced
powder.
chipotle peppers. And I promised beer, and I'm using a dark beer.
All right. Somebody is going to be pissed off with me with what I say next, so get your fucking angry comments ready. Guinness is fucking gross.
And we're gonna let this beer now be the thing that helps us deglaze the bottom of this pan and get up all the bits. This now can bubble away till it's about half gone. But oh damn, did that just do something good. And once it's in, you wanna scrape across the bottom to get up anything that's stuck down there. Now we can add some other stuff. Can of crushed tomatoes, a little brown sugar, some diced green chilies, beef broth. Remember our bacon? Of course you do. And both of our beefs. Is that right? Both of our beefs. The ground and the chuck. And this, of course, will get a big mix. Wow. Look, it's amazing looking.
Except I'm not a cosplayer. I just bought those, I guess, robes because I thought they looked cool. Granted, they're closer to like a cheap fucking costume at a goddamn costume shop, but now, believe it or not, there is a story behind the robes. Hello, DeJuice. And actually, Josh, I know this is your first time being a moderator, but Poondog's owner wasn't technically breaking any of my rules. He wasn't repeating the same shit over and over again. People can insult me all they like. He's a little annoying, but whatever. Oh, it sucks getting old. Everybody makes mistakes.
Already. Holy S. All right, come on, simmer you. And of course, I forgot something.
And trust me, I guarantee you that motherfucker has like 19 goddamn alt accounts.
Couple shots of espresso. Talk about a flavor boost. All right, see what's happening here? That's a little simmer. That's what you want. You don't need anything more than that. We're not boiling it away. No giant bubbles, all right? Oof, it's gonna be great. Okay, you want it just like this, partially covered for, you know, an hour and a half or so. Then we're gonna add some beans, give it a little bit more, and we'll be done. This you'll see next.
The reason, okay, the reason I don't like these big chunks of meat in my chili, I'm just going with me, is this is closer to a stew. And nothing wrong with a good stew, but this is closer to a stew than a chili in my book.
When it's time to move on.
I guarantee you right now I pissed somebody off.
At the end of an hour and a half, we have this. Holy smokes. Wow. And look how nicely it's thickened up. Oh my God.
Now those chunks actually did break down a lot, so...
That's mental. Now, if you wanted to eat it
Now, granted, I would eat the shit out of this.
just like that, you're welcome to. Or you could do this. Put in a can of
Okay, now, this is the debate in chili world. True blue chili is just meat and sauce. That's it. I like it with beans. I truly do. I get it.
kidney beans. Give it
If I'm making chili burgers or chili dogs, I actually prefer just meat and sauce. Or chili brats or whatever.
some of this business and give it that. And come back.
Actually, DeJuice, my brother, that's whenever he makes chili, he always gets white bread with peanut butter on it and dips that shit in there. I thought it was the grossest thing, and then I tried it. And I'm like, how does this fucking work? Another thing I like to do with chili, this is another one where I prefer just meat and sauce if I'm doing it, is spaghetti. And that is, you cook spaghetti and you put chili on top of it.
Back in another 20, 30 minutes. All right, let's do this. Oh!
But if I'm just doing like standalone chili or chili dip, something like that, then yeah, I want some beans in there.
Jeez. I know it looks the same, but oh my. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. Do you get the color change in 2 hours? Max, show the pot before it started cooking.
All right. I'll try that.
And show it now. Come on. And look, this is perfect chili thickness for me. If you want it a little looser, you could absolutely add a little more beef broth, even a little bit more of that beer, which wouldn't be a terrible idea, I gotta say. Okay, well, we have a choice. We could stand here and look at it, or I could have an actual bite. I want a little bit of everything, like that. The ground beef, the chuck, the beans.
And watch his balls burn away with the chocolate reaper in there.
Be still my chili heart. Holy effing shit. Can you see what's going on here? The smoke's coming up. Oh my God. All right, here's the question. Has the Reaper made this insane or has it made it perfect? Let's find out. Well, that was, wait for it.
It's good spice. It's not too much.
It's insane. Again, the spice went like there fast, but then came down just as fast, but leaving you with that gorgeous fruitiness of the Reaper. Oh my God.
I had that happen where I made, God, what the fuck was it? The chorizo shell dish. And it's the only, like when I first made it, first tried it, it was like here in heat. The next day I tried it, and I'm expecting it to get hotter, because that's normally what happens. It actually mellowed out. I don't know if the acid in the tomatoes neutralized the capsaicin or whatever, but yeah, the next day it was spicy, but it was way less.
Half of the world's hottest pepper is in that, and is it worth it? You don't have to use it. You can keep it out. I do think you want some heat, so maybe swap it for a couple Scotch bonnets.
47 Scotch bonnets?
Yeah, like one half of a Carolina chocolate Reaper is probably 47 Scotch bonnets or habaneros. I don't know. I'll figure out the equivalent and put it below. But damn, son, you want to do this. Amazing chili, amazing with that heat. Really is. And the heat is gone now. All I have is gorgeousness. Hit the subscribe button if you like us. And you know what? I think you do.
All right, let's do the other video's namesake to make sure we get it done. This is 10 Christmas appetizers from the 60s and 70s that have disappeared. Let's see if I know any of these.
Grandparents drop a story about a Christmas party platter so wild it makes you wonder, man,
Wait, whoa. Fuck it.
why don't we make stuff
There is nowhere near enough alcohol for a 1960s Christmas.
like that anymore? Ever dig through old recipe cards and feel that sudden
You know, and that's another myth. Nobody put their beer in glasses.
spark of curiosity? Like you just uncovered a forgotten flavor from America's groovy past?
Yeah, that's so weird. This is something from the 50s. Right now, this is his wife, even though she looks old enough to be either one of these two guys' fucking wife. And all three of these guys are brothers, even though Dickhead 1 and Dickhead 2 are old enough to be this kid's dad, and he's old enough to be grandpa.
Well, buckle up, because today
Well,
we're
Fondue's still around.
diving into 10 Christmas appetizers from the 1960s and 70s
Fondue is still around.
that have
Dumb, depressed, drunken fucking sluts eat it all the time naked in a hot tub.
disappeared. If you love uncovering lost bites of American history, smash that like button. Share this with
Oh, God, Titanic. To women, it's a romance movie. To men, it's a fucking horror movie.
someone who remembers the good old days, hit subscribe and drop a comment telling me which dish sparks a memory. Let's roll back the clock and taste the past. Number 1, rumaki. Did your folks ever whisper about that one Christmas appetizer that looked fancy enough to impress
Is this bacon-wrapped water chestnuts?
the neighbors, but tasted so bold it practically slapped your taste buds awake? Rumaki was that legendary little bite, the bizarre yet beloved combo of chicken liver and water chestnuts wrapped tight in sizzling bacon.
Yeah, we didn't do that one because everyone in my family except my dad and my deceased paternal grandmother, everyone else fucking hates liver.
The kind of thing your
And I've tried beef liver, I've tried lamb liver, I've tried veal liver, I've tried chicken liver. It's all gross.
grandpa might joke about while saying, back then, we didn't play it safe at parties. And you've got to wonder, what made people in the 60s keep reaching for something so quirky, so
Because they were high as a kite on LSD!
daring, so downright unforgettable?
Or heroin! That's why they thought this was a good idea!
Was it the thrill of trying something different, or just the magic of those holiday gatherings where nobody worried about calories and everybody lived a little louder? Picture the scent drifting through a mid-century living room, guests in their sharp suits and sparkling dresses crowding around the tray like it was pure gold. And here's the real kicker. Why did a dish with so much swagger just vanish? Did our taste buds get
Because, again, everybody... So, at some point, people started sobering up.
shy? Or did we forget how to have fun with flavors? Rumaki wasn't just food, it was a vibe, a moment, a memory waiting to burst back into the spotlight. Makes you wonder what other bold bites we've let slip away, right? Number 2, bacon-wrapped Smokies.
I make these every fucking year! And every fucking Super Bowl! These didn't go away!
Ever stop and think about how something so tiny could steal the whole show at a Christmas party?
No, because these are still around!
Bacon-wrapped Smokies were that sneaky little appetizer that made people hover around the table like they were guarding buried treasure.
Jesus Christ. It's little fucking cocktail weenies, about the size of my dick, that's wrapped in bacon. Usually also covered in a barbecue sauce or served with a dipping sauce. These are still made at every fucking Super Bowl party to this day. And getting back to the first dish, this is why it was popular. Everyone was drunk or on drugs or both.
And honestly, who could blame them? Imagine that smoky, sweet aroma drifting across a 1970s living room, making every aunt, uncle, and family friend say, "Hold up, what's cooking over there?" These weren't just snacks. They were the kind of bites your older relatives still talk about with that sparkle in their eyes, remembering how they popped them into their mouths like
Well, I didn't coat them in brown sugar.
candy after the third cup of holiday punch. But here's the
Yeah, you do know traditionally holiday punch was loaded with rum. By the way, never fucking do this. You see these colored toothpicks? Okay, here's what happens. The paint that is on these toothpicks is not heat resistant. It will go into your food. And no, it is not food grade safe.
part that hooks me every time. How did something so simple, so irresistible, just disappear from modern holiday menus? Did folks forget the magic of wrapping anything in bacon? Or did these little legends just slip through the cracks of changing trends? One bite back then could light up the whole room, start conversations.
Okay, that was from the movie Nothing But Trouble, and that movie sucked.
And
Like, that is literally John Candy's worst movie. Demi Moore's... Nah, that ain't her worst. I'll say Chevy Chase's worst movie and Dan Aykroyd's worst movie.
memories that stuck around way longer than the decorations. Kind of makes you think, what other tiny treasures from America's past are waiting to be rediscovered?
Okay, you're getting
Number
annoying.
3, liver pâté en croûte. Have you ever seen an old holiday photo and wondered what fancy little mystery dish was sitting proudly in the center of the table, making everyone feel just a bit extra classy? Liver pâté en croûte was that
Yeah, but it's made out of liver. Liver's gross.
showstopper, the kind of appetizer your grandparents probably pronounced
What, Nothing But Trouble? What the fuck did he play?
with their best "I'm feeling fancy today" voice. Picture it:
Yeah, keep typing 1 and see what happens.
smooth, rich pâté wrapped in a golden, flaky crust that looked like something straight out of a retro hotel banquet. And here's the wild part. People back then loved this stuff. They'd slice it up, spread it on crackers, and act like they were dining in some swanky downtown spot, even if they were just chilling in a wood-paneled living room with tinsel draped everywhere. But somewhere along the way, this elegant little dish vanished, like it slipped into a time capsule and
Yeah, 'cause again, it's liver.
never crawled back out. Was it the name that scared folks off? The effort? Or did we just forget how good it feels to bring a touch of old-school glamour to the holiday spread? There's something magical about thinking of those moments. The laughter, the music, the pride of serving something that looked straight up fancy schmancy. Number 4, Swedish meatballs in cream sauce.
Fucking IKEA serves Swedish meatballs. This dish didn't go away.
Ever catch yourself daydreaming about that one holiday dish your grandparents swore could fix any bad mood, cold night, or family meltdown? Swedish meatballs and cream sauce were exactly that. Little savory comfort bombs rolling straight out of the 60s and 70s and into every festive gathering like they owned the place. Imagine that warm, creamy aroma drifting from the kitchen, making the whole house feel like a cozy hug you didn't even know you needed. Folks back then would scoop them up so fast you'd think they were afraid someone else might snag the last one. And here's where the curiosity kicks in. How did a dish that comforting, that crowd-pleasing, just drop off the holiday radar?
It didn't! Again, you can go to IKEA and get some.
Was it because everything today has to be light, lean, or Instagram pretty?
Not during Christmas.
Because these meatballs weren't trying to look cute. They were there to warm your soul and keep you coming back for seconds and thirds. Your
Yeah, thank you, Ken Burns.
seniors probably remember standing by the punch bowl, secretly hoping whoever was holding the serving spoon would hurry up and pass that pot their way. It's wild to think how something so simple, so nostalgic, could fade into the background when it once ruled the appetizer table. Number 5, shrimp cocktail. Did you ever hear your
Oh, Jesus Christ. I just made this for the upcoming 2025 Christmas Spectacular. This hasn't gone anywhere.
grandparents brag about the fancy Christmas?
Every fucking grocery store sells shrimp. Both cooked and uncooked. And they sell cocktail sauce.
Christmas parties they used to throw, where one dish had everyone crowding around like it was royalty?
Well, it is an app, so...
That was the shrimp cocktail, The king of cool, sitting on ice with that bold,
What the fuck? What in the hell is this?
zesty cocktail sauce that could wake up anyone's taste buds in one sharp, sassy bite. Picture it. Guests in their best holiday outfits leaning over the bowl
Those shrimp aren't done.
like it held all the secrets of the season, clinking glasses and saying things like, "Now this is how you start a party." And the wild part? It wasn't even complicated, just chilled shrimp, a punchy sauce, and a vibe so classy
What the fuck is this woman making?
it made every living room feel like a retro hotel lounge. But here's the hook. How did something this iconic, this effortlessly glamorous, slip through the cracks of modern holidays?
It didn't. It didn't. In no reality did it do this. I mean, unless you're broadcasting from Earth fucking 2.
Spreads. Did we get too fancy for our own good? Or did we forget the charm of simple flavors that hit you with a nostalgic smack right behind the memories? Number 6. Stuffed celery boats. Ever hear an
Okay, this one I haven't heard except lining celery with peanut butter and putting raisins on it.
older relative talk about the days when even the simplest holiday snacks had a certain spark? That charming homemade touch that made people say, "Dang, why does this taste so good?" Stuffed celery boats were exactly that kind of quiet legend. Picture a crisp stalk packed with creamy spreads, chopped olives, little nutty bits, or whatever secret mix Grandma swore by. It sounds simple now, but back in the 60s and 70s, this was the crunchy, zippy bite that kept guests circling the table like hungry seagulls at a beach picnic. And here's the curiosity kicker. How did something so easy, so refreshing, so downright cheerful, just vanish from the Christmas appetizer lineup? Maybe folks got too busy chasing the next big food trend, or maybe we forgot how satisfying a cool, crunchy, flavor-packed bite could be between sips of eggnog and laughter that shook the tinsel. Ask any senior who grew up in that era. They'll tell you those little celery boats were the first thing to disappear from the platter long before the fancy stuff. It's wild to think such a humble, tasty throwback could slip into obscurity. Number 7. Ham and pickle roll-ups. Ever hear your elders laugh about those quirky Christmas snacks that somehow tasted
This one I don't know either.
way better than they had any right to? Ham and pickle roll-ups were that appetizer, the oddball combo that always made people raise an eyebrow before taking a bite and then going, "Whoa, okay, that actually slaps." Picture thin slices of ham wrapped around a crunchy dill pickle or a creamy smear of seasoned cheese held together with a toothpick that felt like an invitation to dive back into the party spirit.
This is from another movie.
Back in the 60s and 70s, these little rolls were the life of the table. Not glamorous, not fancy, just fun, bold, and weirdly addictive. How did something so simple, so talk-worthy, so memory-packed just drift off the holiday radar? Was it because we started taking appetizers too seriously, trying to make everything look picture-perfect instead of just letting flavor do the talking?
I don't know. A lot of people don't like pickles. I don't fucking know.
Seniors today still grin when they remember these. The crunch.
Well, they can make them. It doesn't look that hard. It looks like cream cheese, some seasoning, and some ham. And a pickle. and toothpicks. All available at any place that sells groceries.
The tang, the salty kick, and how they grabbed them two at a time while swapping stories under the glow of old...
Again, maybe it's because in the 60s and 70s people were a lot drunker and on a lot more drugs. Then they sobered up. I don't fucking know. I've never made these, but I do love pickles.
School Christmas lights. Number 8, tomato aspic mold.
Yeah, this one I got nothing on.
Have you ever looked at an old Christmas photo and spotted that shiny, wiggly
But this is the first one that I think is probably going to be gross.
dish in the middle of the table? The one your grandparents
Yeah, this is something from the Depression, from the grandparents that, no, it's fine.
swear was all the
I don't mind Jell-O. It's not my favorite dessert, but I don't want it tomato flavored. I'll take cherry, thank you.
rage, even though you can't help but wonder, what on earth were y'all eating back then?
Again, this was the height of LSD and heroin.
That mysterious masterpiece was the tomato aspic mold, the quirky, Jell-O-like tomato creation that somehow managed to be both a conversation starter and a holiday staple in the 60s and 70s. Picture it shimmering under the dining room lights, surrounded by curious guests poking at it with forks, pretending they totally understood this fancy throwback to old-school culinary flair. It had this savory, tangy kick that seniors still recall with a mix of nostalgia and a tiny chuckle. Remembering
the times they were high as a kite.
the bold flavors and even bolder presentation. But here's the hook.
While they all sang Christmas carols as Grandma sucked Grandpa off.
How did such a unique, iconic centerpiece vanish from modern tables? Did tastes evolve, or did we just forget how much people loved showing off dishes that made guests
I think tastes evolved.
stop and say, well, ain't that something?
It's kind of like fruitcake. The last time I had a piece of fruitcake was with my grandma, because one of her friends gave it to her as a Christmas gift. And it is literally like eating nothing but jellified sugar.
The real magic wasn't just in the flavor. It was in the memories, the laughter, the holiday moments wrapped around that retro red mold. Number 9, pigs in a blanket.
These exist too! Again, they're going to be on my Christmas spectacular. When did we stop making pigs in a blanket?
You ever hear your older relatives talk about those Christmas parties where the simplest snacks caused the biggest smiles?
Those aren't pigs in a blanket. I forget what they're called, but if you use full-size hot dogs, they're called something else.
Pigs in a blanket were the undisputed champs of that era. Tiny little sausages wrapped in warm golden dough that disappeared faster than the punch bowl could be refilled. Picture a 1970s living room buzzing with laughter.
The juice, it's up to you if you want to ban his ass.
Vinyl record spinning in the background, and a baking sheet of these little beauties sliding out of the oven, making everyone perk up
Again, this shit exists today!
like, oh, heck yeah, they're here. These weren't fancy, they weren't complicated, but man, were they dependable. The kind of appetizer
Yes, and they're made to this very day.
that could turn even the grumpiest uncle into a cheerful chatterbox. How did a bite so comforting, so universally loved, end up fading from holiday spreads?
That would be Big Mama's, one of Eddie Murphy's movies.
Did we get too caught up chasing new trends? Or did we forget that sometimes the most
No, literally, Jesus fucking Christ, on the back of a goddamn Pillsbury Crescent Roll tube is a recipe for pigs in a fucking blanket.
Nostalgic flavors are the ones wrapped in the simplest packages.
I don't get this. This video is all over the place. To shit that I've never heard of. To shit that is made to this day. Commonly. The only thing is, maybe pigs in a blanket has evolved from a Christmas thing to an everyday thing. Maybe Swedish meatballs evolved from a Christmas thing to an everyday thing. Because traditionally, normally, isn't Swedish meatballs served with goddamn egg noodles?
Number 10. Chicken liver mousse.
Once again, it's liver. Liver's gross. It's like lutefisk, which is the single worst thing to ever exist. But, like, my grandma loved it. My dad hates it. I hate it. It died with her.
Ever hear a senior talk about those Christmas parties where one dish made everyone feel suddenly upscale, even if the celebration was happening in a tiny wood-paneled living room? Chicken liver mousse was that smooth, velvety, surprisingly elegant spread that had guests leaning in like, all right.
The only thing I knew if I was in a wood-paneled living room or basement is one of my uncles would give me beer, one of them would give me gambling money, and we'd have a small poker tournament at the children's table.
Right. Who brought the fancy stuff? Picture it sitting in a chilled dish, surrounded by...
Okay, wait a second. I gotta back this shit up for 1 second. Okay, what do we have here? We have pre-made wrapped candies. Fine. I have no idea what the fuck these things are. This is also modern, by the way, and gummy bears. When did gummy bears become not a thing?
Picture it sitting in a chilled dish.
Oh, God, I can't remember those fucking thin pretzels, and I have no idea what the fuck this is. The paint chips this fucking narrator ate.
Surrounded by crackers and tiny toast rounds, looking like something straight out of a retro gourmet magazine. Back in the 60s and 70s, this mousse wasn't just food. It was a statement, a holiday flex that said,
okay, that's a modern shirt, so you're defeating your own point. Again, I don't like liver, that's just me.
yeah, we know how to throw a real party. But here's the hook that gets you thinking. How did a dish so silky, so rich, so...
Oh, shit! I didn't do that this year! I didn't make a cheese ball. Well, fuck my ass.
full of old-school charm just vanish from our Christmas tables? Did folks get spooked by the word liver? Or did we forget the...
No! Liver's gross! And honestly, if I was going to make this, I'd use liverwurst or Braunschweigert.
the thrill of trying something bold?
Or is it Braunschweigert? Ah, whatever it is. It's also gross.
Creamy, and totally unexpected. Seniors still chuckle about how guests would hover nearby, pretending to act polite while waiting for a chance to scoop another generous spread onto a cracker. It carried memories, the kind that tasted like warmth, laughter, and a little bit of holiday daring. And just like that, we've taken a tasty trip through the forgotten appetizers that once lit up America's Christmas parties with bold flavors, funky ideas, and pure nostalgic charm.
Okay, that's a wedding. That's not a goddamn...
Which one sparked a memory for you?
That's Saturday Night Fever.
Or maybe for someone in your family? Drop a comment and let me know what dish you'd bring back to the holiday table.
Well, half of them are still active to this day, so... The ones that are dead can stay dead.
And hey, if you enjoyed this journey into America's tasty past, don't forget to like, share.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I'll have to do more of these. I guarantee you. Okay, that's a fried bologna sandwich. People make them into adulthood. They shouldn't. Because you got to be a little more careful about what you eat when you're an adult versus a child. I mean, I love fried bologna sandwiches. I don't eat them very often because I don't want to die next week. All right. This video, I'm actually curious about one thing. I've made ranch. I've made about 600 barbecue sauces. But the ketchup, I'm curious about.
Home, ketchup, barbecue, and ranch. I'm Chef Mike Nassar from Detroit 75 Kitchen.
Okay, to be fair, normally I just buy ranch because I've made it before, but it's just one of those things. I like Hillshire Farms or Kraft. It's fine.
We make bomb-ass sandwiches. Hands down, the best sandwiches you will ever have in your life. And we cook for each other. Sauces, condiments, dips. There's no excuse for you
I will say, normally I do make my own barbecue sauces because the ones that are sold in the stores usually are made with high fructose corn syrup, so they're a little sweet. I just think if you make your barbecue sauce yourself, you get a much better product. And again, it takes 20 damn minutes. So, you know.
go to the market and reach for the bullshit. They don't have all that stupid additives in there, especially the high fructose.
Now, ketchup I've never made. So this I'm a little curious about.
Corn syrup. The high fructose corn syrup, it's not good. It's not good for you. Anyway, here they are. We're going to start off with homemade ketchup.
Oh, I've never tried the refrigerated stuff, and I've made it myself. It's just one of those things where it's like, normally it's not a main ingredient in what I'm making. It's more of an afterthought. Maybe I'll have to check that out. I'm always willing to upgrade anything. All right, ketchup. 2 cans of tomato. Well, okay. What size of cans? There are several sizes of cans. I hate it when they do that. Well, maybe I'll have to try this out. Please show me the cans.
I didn't kick on the heat yet. Tomato paste. This is like 2 6-ounce cans. Just double.
Okay, 2 6-ounce cans. Okay, fine. So we're making about. I have no fucking idea.
Apple cider vinegar, 1/2 cup. White vinegar, 1/2 cup. Splash of water, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, 1/4 cup of light brown sugar or dark brown sugar, whatever you have. A little bit of dry mustard, garlic powder, and a little bit of onion powder. Now, we're gonna kick on the heat, and as soon as it starts to make bubbles, we wanna keep on stirring. Make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. We're gonna thicken it up as we go. Then you can adjust the flavors the way you like. A little added flavor, some agave. Cook this for about 5 minutes or so just to kind of thicken it up a little bit and becomes that ketchup consistency. I'm cooking on medium-low. So whenever you make any condiments at home, especially ketchup or barbecue sauce, the longer they sit in the fridge, the thicker they get. So it might look a little bit runny when it's hot, but as soon as it cools down, it's gonna thick up a lot. Whenever you make any type of condiment and you have vinegar in it, you're good for about 3 weeks minimum in the fridge. So the reason we cook this, so basically we're cooking the flavor of the vinegar out, that harsh vinegar taste. So now I'm smelling it, you know, it's, holy smokes. Oh, you fucking, you bitch. Okay.
Sounds exactly like me in the kitchen.
Do you leave that on video?
Because trust me, once that sauce gets bubbling like that, yeah, it hits your arm and it burns like a cunt.
Oh yeah. It's definitely not rated PG. This has been cooking for about 3 minutes or so. You have to keep on stirring it because you don't want it to stick to the bottom. This is the consistency.
It burns worse than the dick disease Britney Spears gives you after a night of fucking her.
That we're looking for now. Fucking burnt my tongue. Dude, it fucking blistered.
Are you gonna leave that in?
So here at the restaurant, we make our own ketchup since day one. It's roasted red, green jalapenos and other spices. This is the base of the recipe. If you're here and you want this to be a spicy ketchup, this is when you add it into it, the last couple minutes of the cooking time. So this is the ketchup. Now we're moving on to the barbecue sauce. For the first time ever, we're offering some merch. I know that people have been asking us for a very, very long time, but after 14 years, we decided, hey, why not? Holiday season is coming up. This is no bullshit. Very, very nice material. And we just want to make sure that if we're ever gonna sell any merch, it has to be proper. Limited time. I don't know how long they're here for. They are so damn comfortable, and the material on them, luxurious, baby. What is it, velvet? No, it's not velvet. And this is how you can be part of the Detroit 75 team. The staff has their own stuff. Now, go get some.
All right. So 4 cups of ketchup. Okay, this is gonna make a lot of fucking barbecue sauce. So a quart of ketchup, that's 4 cups. Half a cup of AC vinegar, quarter cup brown sugar. This is very ketchup-y. All right, I don't like this recipe. Just my opinion. I'm sure it's fucking wonderful. He runs a successful business and I don't.
You can use the homemade ketchup that we just made as a base. I'm going to use prepared ketchup from the market just to show you how easy it is. The description I'm gonna have below is for one recipe, which is 1.5 cups, but I'm just gonna double this up right now. 3 cups of ketchup, which is 1 quart. I did not turn the heat on.
How the fuck is that 1 quart? It's a 32-ounce container. $32 divided by 8 is 4. Whatever, okay, fine. 3 cups of ketchup. Now it's a lot better.
Yeah, we're going to put all of the ingredients in here, then we're gonna turn it on. Half a cup of apple cider vinegar, quarter cup of brown sugar, a little bit of yellow mustard, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, a splash of cumin. I like the taste of fresh garlic in barbecue sauce, and a little bit of paprika or smoked paprika. I like the smokiness inside barbecue sauce, so I'm using a smoked paprika, probably like 1.5 teaspoons. Before you even turn anything on, stir it. Make sure it's all really nice and good in here. I'm cooking on low heat. Keep on stirring this thing. You don't want it to stick. If you wanted this barbecue sauce to be a chipotle barbecue sauce, you would add your chipotles in here at this point. I'm gonna use a little bit of this, okay? Michigan cherry preserve. These are Michigan.
What, you want some tips on meatloaf? Okay, fine, here. 1, get a meatloaf pan. You can buy them on Amazon for $15. 2, if you have a stand mixer, like a KitchenAid mixer, use that to mix your meat. 3, don't add the topping, be it ketchup, barbecue sauce, what have you, until 10 minutes before it's going to come out. That's it. Outside of that, follow whatever recipe you like.
Cherries. This one has half the sugar in it. It is absolutely delicious.
My biggest one is actually get a fucking proper meatloaf pan. You can find them on Amazon for $15.
My favorite brands. 1, we're gonna go with 2 and change. I mean, if you want to use a preserve, make sure to use a decent one. You want something with fruit in it. You want something with fruit, like you can use.
Not every barbecue sauce has molasses in it.
And L4, for example, that's a really good brand. They have a lot of fruit chunks in it, or all fruit. Can you pass the all fruit? Remember that? Can you pass the all fruit? Oh, maybe it's my age. And the reason I'm stirring, because if I don't, it's gonna burn my face.
Oh, bitch. Did you do it again? No, you didn't.
That's twice today. I burned my tongue with a hot spoon. That tastes so.
Dude, would you blow on the fucking spoon?
Freaking good, man. All the way at the end, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of soy sauce, just to balance off that sweetness from the cherry And from the tomato,
That's one thing I wish I could pronounce. Worcestershire sauce, whatever.
probably about another minute or so, and it should be done. When someone says, oh, I don't know how to cook, well, you know how to eat and you know what you like. Therefore, make what you like. It's really that simple. Next is homemade buttermilk ranch. Super easy to do, super delicious.
Yeah, like I said, but it's one of those things. Normally, when I do ranch, it's not anywhere near the star. So for my purposes, I just buy a fucking bottle of the shit. I mean, I've made it before. I can make it.
I know that some people like barbecue ranch, some people like chipotle ranch, some people like this. My personal favorite is just straight up, really good ranch dressing. 1 cup of mayo, half a cup of sour cream, half a cup of buttermilk, a little bit of garlic, salt, pepper, lemon juice, half.
All right. I have to get another beer.
Half of a lemon, teaspoon of oregano, a little bit of thyme, finely chopped parsley. All right, just mix away. Now, you can make it as thick as you want, or you can make it as thin as you want. It's all a personal preference. If you want it a little bit more thick, you can add a little bit more mayo
Yeah, but with that fresh parsley in there, you got about 3 days with that sauce, and then you got to chuck it.
to it. If you want it a little bit more loose, you can add more buttermilk. If you don't want buttermilk, you can add water. In my opinion, a regular ranch is really, really delicious, and it goes with a lot of foods. A lot of people think I'm strange. I like ranch dressing with rice, okay? Like freshly cooked rice with ranch dressing, I'm all over it.
I'm sorry. I have not tried that. I don't know if I'm alone, but that sounds fucking gross unless there's something in it. Like, if that was part of a burrito, then okay, maybe maybe I could do that. But as a standalone dish, that sounds fucking gross.
Taste it, adjust it, and you know that the longer this sits, the more it doesn't need fucking thing. Ketchup, barbecue sauce, and ranch dressing, all without any preservatives in it. The other stuff is made with high fructose corn syrup and bullshit. Those are the two main ingredients in any bottle that you buy from the store. Ferris is laughing his ass off because he knows I'm right. Man, how long is the shelf life on a ranch at the store?
Like 6 months.
At least, right? At least, maybe a year.
How? You have goddamn fresh parsley in there. It can't be 6 months. Unless those bottles you pour it into are completely sterile and somehow self-seal.
All right, maybe a year. Anyway, if you have all your shit ready to go on the counter, you can knock all these out in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, put them in the fridge, forget about it. I know from my kids, whenever they eat pizza, every bite has to have ranch on it. I get it. It's fucking delicious. I really do. But a lot of
I'm 50-50 on ranch on pizza. I prefer the crusts with ranch if I have it at all, but the actual, like, slice itself, not the biggest fan.
times you feel bad if you want to buy them a wishbone ranch dressing and it's filled with bullshit, or you make them this. Cool? All right, time to dip away. It's so freaking good, man. Seriously, so good. You can drink it.
How are you not 700 pounds? You just took a shot of ranch. All right. Let's move on to... Where are we at with time? I got a few minutes left. We're getting a little pressed on time. Let's knock out... Let's knock out some of these shorts. All right, so we have Sandwich Whore.
Want me to make you a
Oh, God. This is another thing I wish chicks would... First off, I wish we would ban females from getting tattoos. Sorry, ladies. It doesn't look good on you. It doesn't make you look sexy. It just makes you look fucking used and cheap. So can we please ban women from getting tattoos? But second off, if we are going to let them get tattoos, can we at least ban them getting stupid shit printed on them? Like, angels don't cry. Yeah, that isn't fucking deep. Sorry, your yoga teacher is not a deep guy. He just says shit like angels don't cry because you'll suck his fucking cock.
Sandwich? Here you go. Are you hungry?
That's wonderful. This is Cajun chicken pasta.
Pasta?
Alright, nothing... What the fuck does this make... Hold on, I gotta watch this again. Alright, so she's got the chicken breast. Okay, so she just uses a pre-made Cajun mix, which fine, whatever, I don't care. There's nothing really here that makes it a Cajun chicken pasta, whatever, slice of garlic, Megan chicken. Sorry, the only thing I really care about is her tits. Okay, fettuccine, I think. Alright, you need to deglaze the pan with a little red wine, my dear! Alright, vinegar, fine. I would have done it with red wine, but that's me. Looks like some heavy cream. I don't know the bottle, so it's probably some weird vegan heavy cream bullshit. And now we have our pasta in. Oh, wait, I know she's not vegan. Fuck is wrong with me? Whatever. The only things that are worth a fuck are just staring me right in the face. And by the way, the only thing that she gets from these cooking videos is just more Sims to her fucking OnlyFans.
Perfect. Here you go.
Again, I'd eat it. And black and blue burger. Alright, same Cajun seasoning. Alright. 2 2 it's not for nothing. It's not a good idea to have your fucking midriff exposed while you're cooking bacon because all those little things of grease are going right there, sweetheart, right in your little outie belly button. No, Raptor Blue, unlike you, I actually have other shit to do. Am I jealous of her? No. Could I beat her in the kitchen? Yes. I guarantee I can outcook her. That said, am I going to win any awards for taking my clothes off? No. She will. Dude, something about this burger looks weird. I know you're not a vegan. But why does this burger look like fucking Beyond Meat?
Perfect.
I know she's not a vegan because, goddamn, she used real sour cream.
Here you go.
All right, I don't know if we're going to do the entire video of this, but I came across this and it made me curious. Are YouTube chefs lying to you? I don't know. I hope not, but I'm not a YouTube chef. Anyway, I'll be right back. Okay. Jesus. All right.
Videos claiming that you can make this in 10, 20, 15 minutes. But today, we're putting those claims to the test. Are they truthers or are they liars?
Okay. The time thing is subjective. I try to give my accurate time, but like when I say start to finish 10 minutes, I'm assuming you already have the pasta water boiling, which takes another about 10 minutes. But I'm an extremely, I'm going to say laid back cook. Because normally if I'm in the kitchen, crack a beer, find something to watch on TV, And then I actually start cooking. A chef operates almost completely differently. You know, while the pasta's cooking, they're doing X, Y, and Z. They're maximizing their time. And most home cooks don't do that.
Maybe I'll go this way today. No, not that way. That's harder to go down face first.
Get off the counter!
And for this inaugural episode, our first defendant is me, because before I start questioning other people, it only feels right to question myself. The claim, had see you in 10 minutes. A lot of people disagree. We'll see. Now, for those of you who are new, which is really everybody because this is the first episode, let's go over the ground rules. Number 1, I must follow the recipe exactly. No alterations and no shortcuts. Number 2, I must have everything I need out and available, because it's not really fair to waste time if I have to look for my spoon. For number 3, in order for this claim to be true...
That's another thing. That's a huge thing. Most chefs, without even thinking about it, before they start shooting their video, have already done all the mise en place. Which is, they've cut all the celery, they've cut all the onions, they've cut all the carrots, they've portioned their spices out already, they've done every goddamn thing ahead of shooting the video. Most YouTube cooks don't do that. Hell, I don't do that. I'm getting better at that, but I don't do that.
The food must be on a plate before the time runs out. Got it? Great. Ready, set, go. Okay, so I have everything out and prepped and ready. Well, not prepped, but everything that I need is gonna be out. The first thing we're gonna do is start by preheating our wok, because it's gonna take a few minutes to get hot, and that's okay. We're gonna prep everything else while this gets hot. First things up, Chinese broccoli. I've got about 3 to 4 stems. Actually, that's...
And here's another factor that YouTube chefs, they know how to chop and cut very, 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 very fast. Your average home cook, if they try to chop like the average chef, would end up in the hospital. 2, most chefs keep their knives about 20 times sharper than your average home cook, because your average home cook puts their knives in the goddamn dishwasher, which is a unbelievable no-no if you'd like your knives to remain sharp.
5. Why did I grab 5? Let me take this. I don't like this leaf. This is not a good leaf. Got 5 stems, and I'm just going to give those a rough chop. These are already washed, by the way. You should always be washing your vegetables, and I'm just gonna cut off the butts because I don't want the butts. Go ahead and separate those out. I want those stems to cook a little longer than I want those leaves. Now for our garlic. 4 cloves, if I can get them out. That's 4-ish, or adjacent. If you weren't so worried about cleaning, you could do it even faster than 10 minutes. Just throwing that out there. And we're just going to smash, and we'll just remove these husks, the skins, pull those off. That hit the floor. Don't worry, I'll get that later. Hope this isn't like a really awkward 10 minutes of just watching me do this, because it's only gonna take 10 minutes. I'm feeling very confident, but I also am not gonna look at the clock, so this could be super awkward at the end. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut up this garlic, just a rough chop. It doesn't need to be...
You mean taking the sharpening steel and running them over a few times? Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Anything too crazy. This is really awkward. This is why I cut all this stuff out of videos, because it's like, well, do you want to watch me cut garlic for 30 seconds? Just doesn't sound fun. Garlic?
But again, your average home cook, it would take him a minute to 90 seconds to do that. Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta blow my fucking nose. All right.
Chop. Now, move on to our meat, which I'm gonna do on a little cutting board because I don't want to get this cutting board all nasty and stuff. Always gonna use a glove because a glove saves me time. I'm gonna wash my hands. 2 chicken.
This is something I have to start incorporating because I wash my hands. If I make, let's say, 4 or 5 dishes for Dave's Cooking Show, I'll wash my hands about 600 times.
Thighs, all we need. Oh, that's a tiny one. Grab that one. No, those are good. I'll deal with this after. All right, so now we're just gonna cut these chicken thighs into strips. I'm gonna first cut them long ways and then into very thin strips because I want these to cook fast, obviously, trying to beat the timer here. And if they're too thick, then they're gonna take too long to cook. Or worse, I'm gonna be like, haha, I got it, beat the time, and then the chicken's gonna be undercooked. And then you guys will be like, haha, didn't, and that would suck. We're just gonna make sure we cut them small enough to cook, which is just what we did last time. There's no changes here. Again, no alterations. Thankfully, these chicken thighs are pretty well trimmed. I guess it would take you longer if you were using a bone-in, skin-on chicken thigh, but that's just like, if you were like, oh, it took me longer because I had bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs, that's like, well, it took me longer because I had to raise chickens to get my eggs. Like, that's not fair. Come on, it's circumstantial. All right, chicken is all cut up. I'm just gonna leave that there for now. We're just gonna move this over to a bowl. And then into this bowl, 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce. Perfect, that looks about right. Oyster sauce, we've got 2 tablespoons.
This is another thing. Chefs usually can eyeball things fairly accurately. Your average home cook has to take the time to bust out the fucking measuring spoons. By the way, I recommend any kitchen has 4 or 5 sets of measuring spoons and 4 or 5 sets of measuring cups. You can pick these up at the dollar store. They're not that fucking expensive. Anyway. Your average home cook has to measure shit out.
Into that? Nope, we don't. 1 tablespoon of that. Cool. Chicken bouillon, 1 teaspoon. I'm over here reading the recipe right now because I think that that's fair. I mean, like, I know what goes in it, but as far as like what I'm trying to stay true to what I gave, right? I want to make sure it's accurate. Wouldn't be fair if it wasn't.
No, Jocelyn, man, you're just funny.
Accurate. And then just a touch of white pepper. And then we'll just go ahead and marinate that chicken, get it all nice and swimming. I don't know. I want you guys to know that a lot of the jokes that I make when I'm filming videos, like, I sit there a while and marinate on them, make sure they're good. Because sometimes they're not. And so my worst fear with this is not necessarily that.
Generally, most chefs just eyeball it. This is the difference between a chef and a cook.
I like don't finish in time because I do truly think that I'll finish in time, but it's that you end up with 10 minutes of me just being sad. I don't know. That's my worrying concern. Now for our sauce, I had to bowl flip. It's part of the recipe. Starting off with light soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of that, a little bit more, but that's fine. Dark soy sauce, a tablespoon of that. Oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of that. Got it. What else goes in here? Brown sugar, perfect. 2 tablespoons of that. I've got to grab a spoon. We just talked about this. Now if I lose, it's because I had to grab a spoon. That's the reason why. And then finally, a little more white pepper. And we'll just make sure that's all nice and mixed up. It's not going to be perfect, obviously, because I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes whisking this together to make sure the sugar's dissolved, but it'll be good enough. It tastes just fine. No one complained when I made pad see ew before. All the people that ended up eating that pad see ew, my wife and my family, they liked it. In fact, I made it again and then again. This is the 3rd time I've made it in like the last month. So there you go. The last bit of prep we need to do, grab this knife. I'm just going to move it over here. Do not put your knife in the sink. Not doing.
Are you seriously saying that chefs in a restaurant are measuring things that, no, they're not. They know how to eyeball it. It's like when an amateur at home makes a cocktail, they're using all the measuring equipment. Professional bartenders, on the other hand, can do it just by feel. And time. I know this because I'm friends with a bartender. And while I may have to pour out my shit, and while I'm decent at eyeballing it, he can do it no problem.
that sitting on a paper towel next to the sink. Put it in the sink. You run the risk of it getting dull, you run the risk of chipping, you run the risk of cutting your hand. There's a lot of risks involved with putting it in the sink. Now, we're just gonna break up our noodles, which also I'm gonna want a glove for because it's oily. Now, I have a pound of fresh noodles that I got yesterday morning at the Asian market. I'm just gonna go ahead and break those up. Well, technically it's 2 pounds, but I only need a pound. The best way to do this is I like to just pinch them on the sides, have them pull apart. You can just grab a bundle and do this. It doesn't have to be anything specific. They're very long to begin with, so if you end up tearing some, totally okay. Not a big deal whatsoever. All that. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just don't want clumps of noodles. There we go. Plenty good. You're joking. Well, that was awkward. Let's see how long it takes to finish this. Oh my God. Well, oil in. This is really awkward. Okay. Well, I don't know what else to say. Make sure our oil is very hot and then in with all of our chicken. I was really confident that this wasn't gonna take more, maybe 11 minutes, 12 minutes. We still got a chance. I mean, we're at, okay. Well, move your chicken around. Oh my God, this is uncomfortable. This is bad. This is demoralizing. Demoralizing, that's a word. I don't know anymore. It doesn't even matter. I'm so sorry. Wow. Well, I felt pretty confident. The confidence waned very quickly.
Well, you're at the 12-minute mark.
Now we're here. I think still confidently we can do it under 15. I don't know what time it is now, but I think under 15. All right.
I think you got a little chatty Cathy, which again slows down, and when you're in a professional kitchen.
That chicken is seared. We're gonna go ahead and add in our stalks of our Chinese broccoli because we want those to cook down. Are we sure? Maybe the timer was off. Maybe like I just got it. Like I could return it to Amazon because like I got it yesterday. I could say it's faulty. It ran fast. I didn't time it against anything else. So it's entirely possible that it was faulty. And you know, if that's the case, I can't be held, you know, it's not my fault, you know, not my fault. Going in with our garlic and the rest of our Chinese broccoli. I think maybe I was wrong. This is rough. This is sad now. Maybe if I rushed it. I didn't want to rush. I didn't want to rush it. And I didn't want to do like an on-screen timer and like, you know, then it was like, oh, wait, is it really like that long? Or is it just like pretending? I don't know, but I didn't want to rush it. I wanted it to feel, I really felt confident. I didn't feel like I was like telling you guys that it was 10 minutes because I was just lying. I was like, when I do it, I'm like, oh, this doesn't take very long. I think it's like 10 minutes, right? Like that's, I felt very confident.
No, you just got humbled, bro.
Very confident. I was just wrong. Just dead wrong. At least we figured it out together.
That's why I give at least times, and usually I'm way over that. But again, I'm not the fastest cook in the universe.
And I'm sorry to everybody who was like, I can't do that in 10 minutes. You're right, can't. Maybe you can if you were like, if you had everything prepped, and for sure. You had everything prepped, everything cut, yeah, the cooking process doesn't take 10 minutes. Sure hope it doesn't. This is gonna be really awkward if it does. I don't know, I don't know anything anymore. I'm just a dude on the internet. All right, well our eggs went in, and now we're just gonna move all that stuff over, let our wok get a little hot again, more oil around the edge. Once we start to get some sizzle, add in our noodles. I'm really disappointed. Okay, well, I mean like, you know, I was honest about the process. Like I could have like been, man, like it didn't take that long. But, you know, I think that would have been cool. Noodles are in, so is our sauce. And we'll just go ahead and toss those together. Make sure that's nice, saucy, and cooked through. Like I said, these noodles are already fully cooked, so they shouldn't take very long at all. We want to make sure our temperature is as hot as it can get so we can char up all these noodles in that sauce. And after a couple minutes, we've got a good char. We're gonna go ahead and add in our other cooked stuff. And all we need to do, toss it all together.
Almost.
And that's time. 17 minutes and 43 seconds. Damn. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know who we should put to the test next. Here's a photo of me looking really embarrassing, and I'll see you next week.
Let's make this sandwich.
All right. What the hell? One last video. All right, I want to do this guy. This guy better hope he never goes to prison. He's going to be somebody's girlfriend in about 5 minutes. Great. Is this no talkie? Okay, if you're gonna shut the fuck up, then I don't care. Either bring me hot Italian bitches or fuck off. Alright, now we have the Faceless Cook from a year ago. Cast iron pizza.
Back for another recipe today. I love this recipe. I love how to do this. It's not so much maybe of how to do unless you really don't know how to make a pizza. Then this will come in handy. But what we're doing today is I do them both ways. I do them in sheet pans and I also do them in a cast iron skillet.
I believe
Today,
I've done a cast iron pizza.
we are doing it in a 12-inch cast iron skillet. So we're going to show you how to do a cast iron pizza today. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how good that this can be. Now, we're just going to start down with some ingredients like we always do. If you guys like this, throw a thumbs up, share it. Be a great time to subscribe right now. If you guys like my videos, like what I do these every...
I've never done a cast iron pizza. I shall have to remedy that shortly. I did a cast iron cookie. Maybe I called it black iron. No, just did that with baked ziti. All right.
Every single week I put something up at least that is either dear to me or somebody wants me to make. So this is what we got, okay? So usually I make my own sauce when I do my own pizzas, but there's a little bit of a story behind this, okay? And the story is that I work with this guy that turns around and says to me, what kind of pizza sauce do you use? And I told him, I says, well, you know, a lot of times I make my own, and other times if I'm doing a store-bought thing, and I went on to tell him what I used, and he goes, oh no. He goes, you gotta use this. Okay, so I don't know if any of you guys have ever used...
I've never used that, never seen that. It's probably a local thing.
Used this brand before. You can find it in local supermarkets usually. It's not too hard to get, but he says, and
yeah, except I'm about 1,500 miles away from Jersey. Now, there are some decent store-bought pizza sauce brands, but I'm with him. I like to make my own, and I have my own pizza sauce recipe. It involves a slow cooker and
another guy I used to work with that's no longer around here. He also said the best stuff you can get in a can for a store-bought sauce. So I'm giving it a try. If I don't like this pizza and it winds up sucking, they're going to get a text.
I'm going to beat my coworker without mercy.
Text message from me, okay? But anyways, that's the reason why I got this particular can of sauce. So we're going to try this out. I appreciate those guys letting me know that this is a great pizza sauce. So we're going to give it a try. All right? I got about 3/4 pound of freshly shredded
well, I've only done it about 100 times on the channel.
Mozzarella. I got a little bit of Pecorino Romano over here. I got a little bit of olive oil. I got a pound of ground sausage. We're not going to use it all. We're going to use about half of that. Some pepperoni, and I also have some pizza dough. Now, the pizza dough I buy locally from a business. It's called Red Front.
Yeah, actually, a lot of pizza places will sell you dough. Local grocery stores will sell you dough. So if you want to skip the step of making the fucking dough, there's a lot of places. And for national chains, I'm 99% sure Papa John's will sell you dough, and I'm pretty sure Pizza Hut does as well. But again, I could be wrong on that. Again, a great way to get cheap bags of ice is go to Wendy's or Burger King.
Local people, if you're watching this, you'll know exactly where I get it and exactly how good that dough is. It's made daily, and it costs like $3 he charges me for this. So that's what we got. So we're going to get on.
Like I said, If you don't want to make it, you know what? It's fine.
On with this recipe, I'm gonna.
Again, one of the big things that I want to instill in people is there are no fucking rules in cooking.
Grind some of this up and cook it and caramelize that up nicely, and then I'll be back and we'll show you what I do with the dough. The secret to a cast iron pizza for a crispy bottom, right here, olive oil. Okay, I'll show you how I do it as soon as I come back with you. Okay, so here we go. We already got the sausage ground up. This is the size I like it. You could, you know, if you're putting sausage on your pizza, you do it any way you want. But that's just how I like it. But the important thing is try to get some of that caramelized, right? It's going to make your pizza taste a little bit better. And I also cut up some red onions. I forgot to tell you guys I was going to do red onions as well. All right, so we're just going to set the pepperoni aside along with the onions and the sausage, and we
there's another group of fucking tattoos that can be banned. Fucking butterfly tattoos.
We have our pizza dough now. Now, I have to say, first impression, I popped the top on this can, and I have to say, this pizza sauce looks and
why wouldn't you line your cast iron? What the fuck is going on?
it smells fantastic. So
why are you adding your...
Yeah, that smells absolutely amazing. So hopefully we have some good luck with this. That's the plan. All right? So, really simple. This is super simple, making a pizza at home. All right? So we're going to put the pizza dough aside. We're going to bring in our cast iron skillet. Just going to give it a quick wipe. And then what we're going to do, and this is where I feel that this is the most important thing, is we're going to put some
olive oil. Okay.
We're going to put some oil. Now, this may look like a lot
Now, I would have put butter, but that's me.
Oil. But you want oil on the bottom of this and up the sides. You want to oil everything because we're going to load on some cheese here. Oh, it would be an awesome time, too, to 500 degrees on your oven now. That would be awesome. Okay, there we go. Preheating, we already had it preheated to 400 just to get it going. So what we're going to do is we're
not clarified, butter fucko.
We're gonna spread this around just like this, and we're even gonna go up the side of the walls because you're gonna have the object here with a cast iron pizza.
And he runs the same problem with olive oil because olive oil has a low-ass smoke point.
Is to get the cheese right to the edge and up on, I like it, up on the sides. Okay, so take your time when it comes to this part, okay? And like I said, it looks like a lot of oil, but this is...
You're right, olive oil is healthier than clarified butter. But it's pizza. It's deep dish pizza. Does it need to be healthy?
Make a 0-carb crust.
Oh, fuck, son of a cunt.
All right, so we are back for and cook it and caramelize that up. Our pizza dough. We're going to get this off the aluminum foil. Just like
I
that.
wouldn't have put my
And
pizza dough
we're just going to take it
whatever,
and we're going to make it
fucking
right here.
fine.
Right? So I'm not going to put it on the cutting board. We're just going to kind of stretch it right in the pan. Okay? So just like that.
Okay, looks like we're dealing with a high hydration dough.
And this dough is already risen because, like I said, they make it every day, and I make sure that when I go get one, that I get one that's already rose, so I can come home and just make a pizza. Or, you know, if you get it right at.
Why would they sell you a non-risen dough?
As they're making it, it hasn't risen yet, then you can let it sit for a day. All right, so there we go. That's as simple as that. See?
If you're going to let your dough sit for a day, then you have to do it in the fridge. Because if you leave it on the counter overnight, it's going to go bad.
Real simple. Where's my mopping? There we go. Okay. So, oh, you know what? I forgot something. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. I had to get me some oregano. Okay, so the first thing now that we're gonna do is we're gonna, this pizza sauce looks fantastic. Thanks, John and Brett.
No, it looks like shit. Sorry.
Oh my
god! Oh my god! Did you do that yourself? That looks like Jack. Did you do that yourself while you were drunk off your ass? That looks nothing like the Playboy Bunny. Jesus, I thought that was a butterfly.
Okay, so we're just gonna do this.
Okay, kids, here's another lesson with tattoos. One, women should be banned from getting them. Although maybe not, because normally if any chick gets a tattoo, she's normally a damaged pile of crap. So it is kind of a useful warning flag. Two, if you're going to get a tattoo, go to a professional artist. Don't get drunk and attempt to do it yourself.
Pizza is one of those things that if you make it at home.
I'm just trying to make society a better place. And women not getting tattoos will make society a better place.
You know, you make it any way you want. You don't have to worry about how many toppings that you have, right? Okay? So that's how I do it. I just put it right to the edge.
I ain't drunk. I ain't even getting started.
Just like that. And then we're going to take some Pecorino Romano. Yes, what makes it. That's what makes it good. That's what makes it good. And then we're going to take, which I just had to run and get. We're going to put a little bit of oregano, just like that. All right, now all we're going to do is we're going to start building this. So hopefully I don't.
What's his other tattoo? Is that Spider-Man? I have no idea what this one is. If that's Spider-Man, holy shit.
I'll have to go grate no more cheese. Hopefully this'll do for me, okay? So we're just gonna put our cheese on, and I go right to the edge. Right to the edge. Alright? Yeah, this is gonna be plenty of cheese. Okay, you're not even gonna see the dough when I'm done with it. Maybe an extra cheese pizza, something like that, right? All right, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, and then what I do is I just turn around at this point.
Honestly, they're so bad. I hope he is the one goddamn adult male using temporary tattoos.
Right, and I put on my sausage, right? Just like this. As much, little as you want. Another good recipe for getting kids involved. Get the kids involved. Get them off their iPad. Get them off their iPhones, right? Get them out of the basement. Get them in the kitchen. I know if I had kids, they'd be standing here right with me. Come on. Let's make a pizza tonight. All right?
Jeez, I can't imagine your terrible self-administered tattoos. You must be a devil with ladies.
And then what I do is we're just going to throw our pepperoni on.
He just said he doesn't have kids. But I guess it appears he's married.
La, la, la.
Again, unless the hand the fucking ring is on means anything.
Oh, that's right. You can't sing. YouTube will want some money. And until YouTube starts paying me, I'm not going to give them any money, that's for sure. All these ingredients, use what you want, whatever you think is best.
What the hell are you talking about? You met every criteria for monetization.
Ingredient might not be, like what I like, might not be, great for you. You might not like it. So use whatever ingredients you want.
I don't know.
Dish.
I don't know, and I don't fucking care.
Other dishes you'll hear me say, no, use good ingredients. Don't screw around with this one. Make it nice. Anyways, that's what this is. Use any ingredients you want. All right, a little red onion. This is going to be delicious.
Well, it's pizza. Because the base of a pizza is a sauce. This is why I said don't use pre-made sauce if at all possible.
Okay. A couple more pieces of red onion. Like this. All right. That's it. There we go, guys. That's how I start the cast iron pizza. Bottom rack. 500 degrees. Are we there yet? Yep, we're there. Somewhere between 15 and 18 minutes. I will bring you guys back with me when I yank this out of the oven. We'll pull it out. I'll show you how.
All right, we'll skip ahead a bit. All right, there we go.
What this looks like when I pull this out of the pan. Give me like 5 minutes. A pizza place. You can do this at home. One half.
A little burn on the sides, but nothing major.
Just like that. Okay. Ooh, this is still really, really hot. All right, guys. So that's gonna do it. Where is my mopping? Here we go. Okay. God, I hate rubbing my hands on other stuff except my moppings. All right. So there we go. Let's clean that up. Get that out of there. All right. So that's it. This is how I.
Like I said, I'd eat the shit out of it. Again, it's a little burnt on the sides. Maybe take whatever you decided to take as a minimum cooking time and maybe shave a minute off. But that's my only complaint. Again, I haven't seen the undercarriage, and I'm not going to go back in the video to find out. But yeah. All right. That is the end of this son of a bitch.